we need to talk about the Brits. Okay, I can already see the comment section. I can already see everyone rioting and saying this whole argument is stupid and that so-and-so should have won and so-and-so and so-and-so and whatever the fuck. Guess what? I'm here today to say that I don't care about the Brits. The only reason I even knew any of this shit was because I was on the internet and everyone was talking about it. So, let's be honest here. Yes, I love British music, so obviously Brit Awards are going to be something I was going to be interested in, but I don't even know where I would watch it. I watched part of the Grammys. Again, I mostly watch these things for the performances and not for the actual, awards, considering, the Grammys are not the most reputable thing in the world. As a critic, yeah, people get robbed at the Grammys all the time, and the term robbed is way overused, and I will get into that in a minute, but, yeah. People actually get robbed at the Grammys all the time. Lorde actually got robbed in 2017. I'm not making that up. Okay? I'm just saying here that these are things which are just not usually very accurate. The fact that Drake is even winning awards for his mediocre brand of trap, is just not fair. And yes, Drake won a Brit. He won the International Male Award, which right away should tell you just about how reputable these things are. These types of awards are things we just pretend to care about, but they actually don't really matter. And when I say they don't matter, of course they matter to some people, but honestly, when it comes to awards, I've discovered that there's no use in even getting wound up about it, honestly. I just don't understand the problem people have. But let's talk about it. Okay, so the big category I saw everybody going head-to-head on was the, Best British Group, because apparently this was the year of Gorillaz vs. Little Mix Part 2, which, okay then, if you want it to be that way, well apparently we got a dark horse in the form of a 1975 sweeping everything. I mean, I really should have seen that coming. The media loves them. Everybody seems to love the 1975, and honestly I can't ignore them forever, so expect a review of their debut album soon. Even though I've never ever listened to them at all. Maybe some reactions as well, depending on if the copyright bots are in my favor. But, yeah, I am going to start listening to the 1975. Not because I'm that excited to do so. And no, I'm not salty that they won an award. I literally can't judge them based on not knowing any of their music. I'm not a fan of the aesthetic, though. But that's beside the point. Of course, I was on Instagram and I saw the Gorillaz fans going crazy, and then I was on Twitter and I saw the Little Mix fans going crazy. It's just like, guys! Okay, here's the other thing I want to say, is that, yeah, the 1975 won an award. Guys, chill out. Like, seriously, I don't understand what the problem is here. Whoever you want to win or think should have won or whatever, this is why I don't get invested in these things, because I just think they're so silly and ridiculous. And Gorillaz won last year, so it's not like they've never won anything, or it's not like there's some bubbling under band you're for. I mean, yeah, I totally get why you'd want someone like, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a breakthrough artist who people like. But yeah, if there was a big breakthrough artist or band that had never won anything and you thought they deserved to win awards, I completely could understand being justifiably more angry, but especially since they won the award last year. What I really don't get is the Little Mix stand. This is what I don't get. I don't understand this. I never will understand this. The obsessive stan culture around girl groups, boy bands, singers like Ariana Grande, of course, male singers, Justin Bieber, or whatever. Pop stars in general. Of course, boy bands, you got the K-pop, you got the BTS, the Blackpink with the girl groups. You got the 21 Pilots stands, which isn't a boy band, but she's kind of just one of those things of very obsessive fandoms. You've got all those other obsessive fans, and Little Mix, or the Mixers, seem to be one of the most obsessive fans out there. I just don't understand it. Okay, so, I like Little Mix. I do. I listened to their last album. I said I liked it more than I was expecting to. I think they bring a lot of energy to the scene. I would love it if they broke America, because the pop scene is so boring over here, and they have energy and charisma. A lot of people don't like Little Mix. That's okay. I'm not offended by that. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion, including critics. I have opinions that differ wildly from critics. A lot of people don't like Fifth Harmony. I didn't like Fifth Harmony either. Little Mix are the good Fifth Harmony, in my opinion. That's what most people seem to be consensus on. But should they win Best British Band? Probably not. There were probably better bands, like the 1975, which I haven't listened to, but they're probably doing more interesting stuff than Little Mix. And, we can't exactly forget the Arctic Monkeys. Honestly, even though I barely listened to them as well, I think I would have taken them over Little Mix. I might have even taken Little Mix over 1975, even though I've never listened to them, just because I actually have some relationship with Little Mix. Yeah. Whether or not you like Little Mix is somewhat irrelevant. I said I like Little Mix. I didn't say I go on my knees and pray to Little Mix. I didn't say that I... Also, that's just a stupid band name. Little Mix? Why? Anyway, but I gotta say this here. The Mixers are just... Again, when I say the term robbed is overused, they said they got robbed again. Even though I've never listened to 1975 and I have listened to Gorillaz, I really don't think they were robbed either time. I know the opinions on the 1975 album were, mixed, but these people probably have never even paid any attention to the music scene. These people are just being so toxic and just like, they were robbed. I honestly don't think they were robbed in either case. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it would have been cool if they'd won the Brit. Maybe America would have paid more attention to them. Probably not, because nobody cares about this shit. Honestly, I don't really have a strong opinion on this whole thing, and I just don't understand the like, stan culture and the, like, so-and-so robbed. The Little Mix were robbed again. I'm like, they weren't robbed last year and they weren't robbed this year. They have not been robbed. They're a pop act. They're not that good. They're not as good as the other bands. They shouldn't even be nominated for these types of categories. Maybe there should be, like, a category for, like, bubblegum pop, or a category for, like, alternative. I honestly think alternative music, whatever you want to call that, and pop should be in completely different categories. Then that also begs the question, Gorillaz is a virtual band, and Florence and the Machine didn't start as a duo. I'm not actually sure if it still is a duo, but why did Florence and the Machine get nominated as a solo artist and Gorillaz got nominated as a group? Is J.D. Hewlett just like a groupie now? I'm kidding. I'm not saying J.D. Hewlett isn't integral to Gorillaz, but he doesn't make the music or anything. Like, it's just Damon Albarn and a bunch of collaborators who aren't permanent members. There's only one permanent musical contributor. But with Florence, I mean, maybe that's true as well. Maybe it is just Florence Welch, but you should at least treat it the same as Gorillaz, if not differently. Florence and the Machine is the name of a group. Put that in the group category, or put Gorillaz in the solo category, because it's mostly Damon Albarn, okay? I know you don't know what to do with these acts, but it's just so inconsistent and it doesn't make sense. You know what else doesn't make sense? Ariana Grande having the top 3 songs in the Hot 100. Apparently that happened. Honestly, as much as I've said I need to start paying attention to the 1975, which I do, Ariana Grande, I've been paying attention to her for a long time, and I like her. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Sweetener was not a good album. Sorry. But I enjoyed her album Thank You Next. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I liked quite a few of the songs out of it, but unfortunately the songs would have charted. Seven Rings, the worst song on the album, is still at number 1, and we have Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, at number 2. Honestly, that song is just, why? And then we have Thank You Next rebounding to number 3. That song was still in the top 10, so I'm not surprised. But, like, how? Apparently this is the first time this has happened since 1964 for the Beatles, and yeah, I believe it. I mean, Drake broke a ton of streaming records in the age of digital streaming and album bombs. The charts work a lot differently than they did in the 60s. It's easier for these types of records to be broken. It was harder for a band to have that much clout back in the day, in the same way. Or they could, but they weren't able to impact the charts as much because of the way radio and singles worked. Now that you can just stream an entire album on Spotify, in the era of album bombs, in the era of this kind of thing being a thing, yeah, I absolutely see why this is happening. But is it because people really like Ariana Grande? I've seen pretty lukewarm reception on her album, and, yeah, I know there's a ton of crazy Ariana Grande stans, whatever. Of course she's popular, but it's not like she's universally amazing like everyone, I guess, thought the Beatles were, even though that was when the Beatles were poppy and still not considered one of the best rock bands of all time. But let's be real here. Ariana Grande is the only pop star we have left. I like to joke about the pop-apocalypse that started in 2013 and ended in 2016 when everything happened, and I like to say there's only a few pop stars who survived the pop-apocalypse, Ariana Grande being one of them. Halsey doesn't count. Guys, please go watch Todd in the Shadows if you're on Without Me by Halsey. That is a great video, and I highly recommend it to address the current pop scene. No pun intended. Anyway, let's just dial it back a bit. And again, there are plenty of reasons why this happened. I think these are some of the worst songs. I'm waiting till Billboard Breakdown comes out. I was like, I'm not going to believe this until Spectrum Pulse video comes out, but I did check the charts. This did happen. I heard this on the radio on the way home. Is this confirmed? This happened, and it happened. I mean, on the one hand, there are far worse things that could be dominating the charts. I'm happy for Ariana Grande. Honestly, I can't say I'm complaining all that much, except, how did this happen? It's just, I just don't know. I feel like the lack of competition is what's making Ariana Grande have these problems. Unlike whatever. At least it looks like we're looking in a more pop direction, and we're going to have less Drake. But that's good, I guess. I did also hear that Drake dropped another mixtape. I don't know if that's true or not, but regardless, I'm hoping that he'll be completely trounced by Ariana Grande and her posse. Maybe Ariana Grande does have enough clout to spark a pop revival of sorts, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm sick of the downbeat, moody, halfway alternative, halfway hip-hop, halfway pop dreck we've been getting for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm sick of it. Yeah, there's been some songs here and there. There's been Despacito. That was a smash. Nothing Holding Me Back by Shawn Mendes. Havana, I guess. I can't really think of many poppy or upbeat smashes until No Tears Left to Cry last year, and that is still Ariana Grande's best song, and she's not going to top that, but it's just a shame that she has to be doing this with some of her worst songs. I honestly think the single choices were horrible. I really hope that songs like Fake Smile, or Bad Idea, or Ghostin', although that does not sound like a single choice, but Bad Idea, I could definitely see that being a single, and that was a song I really liked. I really hope she chooses good singles for her next stuff, because, again, she did not choose very good singles for this album, I must say. Thank You Next is probably the best of the singles, and Break Up With Your Girlfriend I'm Bored is fun and catchy, but has nothing of substance to it, and then Seven Rings is just the disaster that Seven Rings is. Yeah, I might like it ironically, and I've given it a 6 out of 10, but it's still not that great of a song. Yeah, it could be worse, but anyway, Ariana Grande completely smashed the Billboard charts. That's the bigger news of today, in my opinion, more than the whole Brit thing, who got robbed, who won the freaking award. Again, I will definitely listen to the 1975, because I have come to the revelation that I can no longer ignore them as much as I would like to. Who knows, maybe it's actually good, maybe I'll really like it. It's just that, yeah, I don't know. But, and no, I'm not salty that they beat Gorillaz to an award. I'm salty because I've never liked the 1975. I've never listened to the 1975. I've always felt like you're so fake and preppy, but, I mean, people said the same thing about Blur back in the day, so what can I complain? Except Blur didn't have haircuts that looked like a combination of Justin Bieber and Troye Sivan. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. That's my little rant/ramble. If you liked it, click like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!